Yo, 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 what is up, guys? It's Sean back here again, and I'm bringing you my first Naruto What If video. And what if video for today is what if Obito never, what if, yeah, never died. So to be more specific, it's what if Obito came back in time to save Rin and Kakashi from the Mist Ninja. So Kakashi's still gonna have the Sharingan, uh, and Obito is still gonna have the whole Zetsu power thing inside of him. So first thing I think will happen is I think Obito with Kakashi are just gonna wreck the Mist Ninja. Considering the way Obito destroyed them on his own, I don't see how they don't win. Following that, I don't I personally don't think Rin would die, but I don't think the third kills would wreak havoc on the village either. Specifically just because they already know about it, they would probably um find some way to suppress the likelihood of that happening. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. Um, Next, I do believe that if Obito would kind of tell him of Madara's whereabouts, um, so it's either, and I don't see Madara in his old age doing anything against, especially against the Konoha Ninja, especially if they bring out anyone of the heavy hitters like the fourth Hokage or anyone of the Sannin. I don't see Madara um, winning. But his plan for Project Infinite Tsukiyomi would instantly stop right there because you have to remember Madara died the moment he let go of the Gedo statue. So he's literally attached to that statue just to stay alive. Uh, Now with that being gone, I don't see uh, Obito obviously turning evil. So that also means that uh, Minato and Kushina wouldn't die, um, and that uh, Naruto would not become a Jinchuriki. Now that Naruto isn't a Jinchuriki, I still believe that he would be just as powerful, if not even more powerful, especially than he was at the beginning of the series. Because you have to remember, Naruto has massive reserves of chakra already. And part of the reason why his chakra control was so bad at the beginning of the series was because his chakra was used to suppress the Nine Tails. Now, not only does he have to deal with that, he also has his dad and his mom there to help him train. And he also has any of his other teachers, like including Kakashi and Obito, there to help him train as well. So I honestly don't see how Naruto would be uh, useless without the Nine Tails chakra. Maybe he wouldn't end up as strong as he was at the end of the series. Actually, no, not even, because even if he doesn't have the Nine Tails, it doesn't change the fact that he's still an incarnate of Ashura. I believe it's Ashura. Yeah, Ashura. So he could still theoretically gain the Six Tails form, not Six Tails, sorry, Six Paths form if of a situation ever came to it. So honestly, I don't believe that Naruto power wise would be too different. I mean, obviously he wouldn't have the whole tailed beast mode and any of that. But you got to think if Naruto is training with his dad, he could probably learn Sage mode and a bunch of different and even more different techniques. So even though he would lose the Nine Tails, he it wouldn't be like a detriment to his overall skill as a ninja. But another big change is that Naruto also would not learn the Shadow Clone Jutsu, his signature jutsu, because he wouldn't have needed to steal the scroll from the Hokage because of the fact that he wanted to prove to Iruka Sensei why he can pass his exam because he would have already been a decent ninja. Now, as a result of Obito not becoming who he was because of Madara, that would also mean that the Nine Tails attack would not have occurred, which obviously would be why Minato and Kushina would still be alive. But that would also mean that the Uchiha massacre wouldn't have happened, or at the very least, it would have taken something else to make it happen, because Danzo wouldn't have been able to use the fact that the Nine Tails was controlled by an Uchiha user, aka Obito, as leverage to force the Hokage's hand. Uh, Now, if that happened, I also believe that he wouldn't have been able to gain Shishi's eye, um, because he wouldn't have had the opening to gain his eye, and also even if he did gain his eye, there was no way he would be able to cover it up because he couldn't really use any excuses. Nor do I think Minato would even believe him in the first place. It could even be a possibility that the whole root organization could even disband just because he only got the root because the fact that Hiruzen, aka the third Hokage, was friends with him, and he wanted to kind of just give him something to do, so he let him have his own uh, um, special part of the Anbu. So, while I'm not saying that the root would have been disbanded, but I'm just saying it's a possibility. But what I'm definitely saying is that there was no way Uchiha was gonna get massacred from this, and that there was no way that he was gonna get Shisui's eye either. Now, because of the fact that the Uchiha massacre doesn't take place, Sasuke wouldn't have had an intense hatred toward Itachi nor the Leaf after finding out that Itachi was actually the good guy. He would have had his mother and father, and probably would have had a family dynamic. Now, as a result of this, I do believe that Sasuke would be a weaker. I still think he'd be a very strong ninja, but part of what gave him his motivation to train was the trying to surpass Itachi and basically becoming an Avenger, as he likes to dub himself, is kind of what made him to be such a strong ninja. I also believe that his demeanor would be a lot happier because if you remember in the flashbacks uh, before Sasuke's family was killed, he was actually a very happy child and had very happy mannerisms. So I do believe that maybe even if he's not obviously as happy as he was when he was little, he would still be he would still retain a significantly better outlook on life. Now, as far as the relationship between Sasuke and Naruto, as much as I think it's very possible that they maybe wouldn't have one, I still think they probably would, if for no other reason other than the fact that the Sage brothers they always had like this rivalry towards each other. So them being another incarnation of them, I still think that would draw them to each other. Not only that, but from if you remember in the anime, their moms were friends, and considering the fact that both their moms would still be alive, I think that they would be friends from that as
Now, in terms of Kakashi and Obito, I believe that Obito would eventually become the next Hokage after Minato, and Kakashi would become just a high-ranking shinobi. The same goes for Ren and Might Guy. I still think that they would become Jonin and uh, also teach their respective teams in Team 7 and Team Guy. Uh, now, uh, now it may be argued that Kakashi could also become Hokage, I don't think that was really his goal in the first place, seeing as how he was reluctant to do it in the actual continuity of the series, and he only went through with it because Tsunade was pressuring him into it. However, if either one of these guys become Hokage, it's not going to be for a long time down the line, given that Minato is still relatively young for the Hokage position. I also wanted to add that Kakashi and Guy would probably be stronger, just because Kakashi has someone in Obito to kind of help him with the whole Sharingan situation. Like like Obito would probably help Kakashi make better use of his Sharingan, so that would let Kakashi become stronger. And because Guy and Kakashi are rivals, if Kakashi becomes stronger, Guy so too Guy will also become stronger. Just from the fact that Kakashi became stronger. I just wanted to add that in there. In terms of the whole Team 7 dynamic, I believe that if they were still organized the same way they were, that Sasuke, no, Naruto would be a little bit stronger than Sasuke, but I do believe that Sakura would be very weak, just from a lack of conflict, especially because Sasuke never left the village and Naruto never got hurt, so it never forced her to change. Also, I do also in terms of the in terms of the bridge mission and the hidden mist, I believe that they would have dealt with that mission even easier because they would have been more experienced at the time. Uh, they'd probably go on more high-ranking missions because uh, they're more experienced. Now, in terms of the Hidden Rain orphans, just because Obito doesn't become evil, Hanzo would never turn on the Akatsuki. And actually, wait, no. He would still turn on them because of Danzo's influence. But uh, I don't believe that they would become the same Akatsuki that they are today, um, because of the fact that, Obito uh, isn't there to influence them. Now, assuming that Hanzo doesn't turn on them, so that would mean that Yahiko would still be alive. The bulk of their organization, when it was peaceful, would still be alive as well, and they would be working more on spreading peace throughout the ninja village. I do believe they would show up at Konoha, but obviously not to destroy it. Maybe to talk with Jiraiya Sensei about peace and stuff. So they'd probably have a more positive relationship with Naruto and Konoha as a whole. Now the last real situation to talk about it would be Orochimaru. Now with all the high level ninja in the least still alive, you got the fourth Hokage, you got Kakashi, Obito, Shisui, that's the Uchiha. There's no way in hell that he's gonna do anything. He's just not. There was way too many people in that village that are capable of stopping him to even think of an invasion. So that would also mean the third Hokage is still alive, a significant portion of the village is still alive. Sasuke isn't going anywhere. Um, because he's not really to tempt him. I'm sorry, there's just no way I can see Orochimaru getting right into this story because no like there's no avenue of weakness to exploit in this village. Everyone's still there, and everyone will kick his ass. Okay, now Orochimaru was very strong, I know that, but unless he like waits until they're all old or something, I just don't see anything happening in the immediate future. There's just way too many high level shinobi there. I haven't even talked about Itachi. I haven't even talked about what when Naruto and the rest of the Konoha 12 train. So the fact of the matter is that Orochimaru is not going to do anything in this universe of Naruto. The Konoha 12 would most likely stay similar to the way they were in the original show, just because there would not be anything to really change who they are. Obviously, Neji would most likely be alive because there would have been no boy unless anything happened throughout any missions. Because the one thing you need to remember is in this universe, even though none of the conflicts happened through Obito, that also means that the world doesn't wake up and start to become more peaceful because there's no type of um, organization that forces the villages to work together. So I believe that even though uh, the plot would be more peaceful, the world of Naruto itself, the ninja world, wouldn't be because uh, Naruto's not really invested in making peace, and there really isn't any any organization to force the villagers to become more peaceful with each other.